Welcome to the Healing Temple of Truth. I'm Tracy Andara Starloha, your guide through the sacred path of whole body wellness. Here we go beyond surface solutions and explore deep root level health. Body, mind, spirit, and soul. This is a space for truth-seeking, transformation, and community. So share your thoughts, reflections, questions, and comments in the comments below. I respond and engage personally. If this content is resonating, please hit the like and subscribe button and share with anyone that you think would benefit who's on the healing path too. Now let's dive into today's topic. It's one that's really exciting for me to talk about. It's why I eat a raw animal-based diet and how amazing I feel on it. So what is raw animal-based eating? It's also called the Primal Diet by Aajonus Vonderplanitz, and I'm gonna show you some of his books and read some passages later in the video. But he invented it to heal every illness. And the reason it's amazing is it's because it's highly nutrient dense, it's detoxifying, and it's alive. So it's full of enzymes and bacteria that help your body heal. What is it? It's eating as much raw animal product as you can have access to, organic, of course. Raw milk, raw cream, raw butter, raw meat like beef, chicken, fish. It's not exclusive to animal products. You can eat any raw food. You can eat fruit, you can eat vegetables, just needs to be raw. But for me, I'm doing mostly animal based, and I think that's the part that I really love about it because it's so different. But I want to share with you more details about what it is, why, and how awesome it is once you get past the blocks of like, you're not supposed to eat raw food. So why did I start the raw animal diet or raw primal diet? It started in 2018 when I got really sick. I was doing a cleanse for 3 weeks. I got the flu, and while I was cleansing and had the flu, I was living in a house that was full of mold. I was in Hawaii, and I think the mold like literally infested my whole body. And at the end of the cleanse, I had these red, like itchy, oozy rashes on my ankle is where it started, and then I had some on my hands as well. And these symptoms didn't go away for about 3 or 4 years while I was trying everything I could to get rid of them. I went to the doctor, I got biopsies, no one really knew what it was. In hindsight, I should have gone to the doctor and gotten a stool sample, blood, mycotoxins, urine report, and of course, blood work. But I didn't get that till much later, and I'll share more about that with you soon. So during this time, I tried so many different diets and none of them worked. It wasn't until about 4 or 5 years into my situation that I was so desperate, I finally paid for help, which was I called Jessica Quinn, my Ayurvedic practitioner on Maui, and she, within 20 minutes, diagnosed me from an Ayurvedic standpoint that I had excess fire in my blood. So the heat was represented by the redness on my skin, and she put me on a diet that would remove all heat or dryness inducing foods. So nothing salty, sour, or spicy. What I did was I went on her protocol immediately and saw immediate results. All of my skin rashes subsided. I was amazed and I was so thankful. And so check out Jessica Quinn. I'll link her website in the description below if you're interested in Ayurvedic healing. So yeah, I ate anything I wanted as long as it didn't induce dryness or heat. I stayed on that diet for 2 years and lived happily with my symptoms at bay. That said, if I ever went off of it, I would get the symptoms again, and I wasn't okay with living just with this underlying disease that I had to keep at bay. I really wanted to cure it at the root. So I explored more, and at this point I met somebody who's now my partner, and he encouraged me to, one, get on the raw diet, and two, my friend Reagan, she had a feeling that I should go to this regenerative health clinic in Santa Barbara. I finally had some resources to do so, so I paid a lot of money to get checked out at the regenerative health clinic, and they took a stool sample, blood, and urine, and they said, yes, you have mycotoxins, you have an imbalance of bacteria, you have an overabundance of unhealthy bacteria, and this is what they are. So she put me on a variety of things to help that, and she also noted that, and I had already been on the raw diet from William, my partner, for a couple months, and she saw that that's what I was eating, and she was totally good with it. She didn't mention any diet changes for me, so that was a good sign that I was on the right track. So let's go back to William and why he was doing the raw diet and why I thought I should do it because of him. So William had chronic constipation and just some severe digestive issues all in his earlier years, and it wasn't until he found Aajonus and his protocol that he actually healed, and he's been doing the protocol ever since, and his health is so good. He has the best health of anyone I know. His skin, his physique, his just everything about him seems like it's in top-notch health, and that's why I knew what he was doing was good and working, and I wanted to try it. So he knew Aajonus back in Los Angeles. He met him, and he was exposed to his work. I'm going to tell you a bit about Aajonus and then why the raw food diet worked for him and why it works for everyone. I'm reading his books, and I've already read this one. It's called The Recipe for Living Without Disease, and that has a lot of recipes and reasons why this diet is. I'm also reading his story. It's called We Want to Live, Out of the Grips of Disease and Death, the story, and volume 2, the facts. And it says the primal diet. So that's Aajonus. He looks nice. I really like him. He's not alive anymore, but that's another story. And this book talks about his personal journey of disease. He had trauma when he was younger, starting at when he was born, and he eventually, when he was in his early 20s, got cancer, and he's had so many health issues. Basically, when you have problems early, you kind of learn quickly what to do and what not to do. So he learned not to go to the doctors and to do his own healing protocol, which is through nutrition and food. So he healed himself of cancer and many other diseases through this diet, and he shares with people how they can do the same. So why does raw, animal-based or raw at all, why is that the best food that we can take? So I'm going to read this page 22 from A Recipe for Living Without Disease and just give you a little insight into this foundational philosophy. It was not long after my introduction to raw food that I became aware that our bodies have innumerable chores to complete every minute. They eat, digest, transport, utilize, and assimilate food to energize, lubricate membranes, regenerate, and reproduce to replace dead cells. Dead cells must be collected, transported, dissolved, or disassembled, sorted through for usable substances, and the byproducts discarded. The innumerable enzymes and vitamins found in raw food are the helpers necessary to accomplish those tasks. When we eat raw food, we have trillions of helpers to accomplish all of those tasks with little waste. When we cook or process our food, we massacre our helpers, causing our bodies to have to do all of the chores on their own. Cooking and processing exhaust our body's natural resources. We further exhaust our natural resources trying to clean up the toxicity after the massacre. The pancreas must produce and discharge extra hormones and electromagnetic signals that leach quality vitamins, enzymes, minerals, and fats, proteins, and carbohydrates from every cell to clean up the massacre, as well as to continue to perform all of its ordinary, innumerable bodily tasks. So they're saying the massacre is the toxicity after we eat cooked food. In most people, many years of leaching causes gradual but marked disease in strength and agility. That is common in our society. Leaching reduces the ability of each and every cell to withstand the increased toxicity that accompanies this process and produces disease of all kinds. A simple analogy is this: we are the mayors of a city, the body in which we live. We must renovate, maintain, and keep the city efficient and clean. Our enzymes are the maids, gardeners, food preparers, handy and craft persons, helpers, and managers that accomplish all of the chores necessary every second. If we massacre the workers, cook or process our food, which are the enzymes, and destroying enzymes and vitamins, not only do we have to clean the massacre, we must seize workers from other tasks to do all the chores of the city. That depletes our resources and depresses the population, ourselves. That entire process is impossible to maintain. We cannot properly accomplish the chores. Pollution collects and creates a toxic environment within the city, and the city deteriorates. Taking the analogy another step, let's say we built New York City, our body, from poor and poisonous materials, cooked and processed foods. The city dwellers, animals and plants, our cells and microbes, are variously affected. They overproduce waste because they're weak and lack the resources necessary to maintain a self-sustainable environment. Grime accumulates in the homes, buildings, streets, fields, parks, and skies, deteriorating structures and life. Now, let's say we become aware that we built a polluted and rapidly deteriorating, diseased city. How much time will it take to reorganize, demolish faulty structures, load, transport, and bury waste, neutralize poisonous matter, search for and gather nutrients, negotiate, redesign, renovate, and restructure? How long will roads be blocked and overcongested? What degree of inconvenience, pollution, and pain will residents and workers suffer? If people had to completely rebuild New York City, how long would it take? 200 years? 500? So that's just a snapshot into why scientifically that raw food is better for the body, because it's not depleting anything as it's being digested, it's just giving. When you eat cooked food, it's lacking vitamins and enzymes, so the body has to make up for it, so it has to work extra hard to process cooked food. So then he builds on that by telling you to eat, like, raw butter is extremely detoxifying. It helps really clear and nourish the cells. So things like that are also included. Like a raw piece of meat, like a ground beef, has every enzyme, nutrient, and bacteria that your body would need to heal. So what did I do to start? I started by making these raw bison burgers, because at the time didn't want to eat beef because it's heating, but bison is not heating. So William taught me how to make the raw bison burgers. If you add beets to them, it makes them like a more appealing color. So it just makes it bright red. So I would do raw ground bison, beets, and then whatever seasonings I wanted, like garlic, cumin, oregano, salt, pepper. So I would combine all that and make it into a patty and put it in the dehydrator. So it would create like a dry skin around the burger, but inside was raw, and it made it more appealing to eat, and it was also good to go food. So I could just take them with me wherever. And I will have another video on me making that and showing you, so I'll link that here. The first thing I did was actually raw eggs in smoothies. I would do 3 raw eggs, some kind of milk. At that time I was just drinking almond milk, but now I'm on raw goat milk and raw cow cream. And I would put like an avocado, some flavorful protein powder, and I would have that for breakfast. And that is like the best thing you can eat for breakfast. Even Robert Love says that 6 raw eggs in the morning is like the best thing you can do for your brain. This book with the recipe for living out without the disease has a really amazing point about raw eggs and how they cured someone from being on dialysis for respiratory and something else. So that's my like favorite meal, is the raw egg smoothie. And then what was like kind of the most edgy was eating raw chicken. People like think that's crazy, but it's not. You can actually put lime or lemon juice on chicken and it kills any potentially harmful bacteria. For me, I just cut up the chicken breast in like bite-sized chunks and I sprayed lime or lemon all over it, and I added like raw onion, tomato, whatever veggies I like, to make kind of like a raw chicken ceviche, and that was delicious. Now I just pulverize it in the Cuisinart with some garlic, lemon juice, and I eat it as like a hummus. It's basically like a pate. So those are the things I wanted to share with you about what I normally eat. The other things I've found that are great are raw goat cheese, and then I love salads with like sprouts and lettuce and cheese and yogurt and like cucumbers. Just like, you know, I don't always eat raw animal products. Sometimes I really crave just like a cucumber or raw greens. I personally cannot eat any sugar right now because it feeds the bacteria, the harmful bacteria. So I'm on a keto diet, so I consider this raw keto, animal based, and I think that's like the healthiest diet in the world because sugar actually makes you crash. You don't really need sugar or carbs to live. I've been doing this for a couple of years. Your body learns to just use oil or fat as its fuel source, not carbs. It's called ketosis. So I recommend that if you want to lose weight and if you want to heal. Now, if you just want to maintain health and be happy and healthy, I would add fruit. Just whenever you feel called to eat fruit. Fruit's amazing. It has so many vitamins, minerals, nutrients, and water, hydration. So one thing I notice on the raw diet is I'm more hydrated. Like when I eat cooked food now, I get physically dehydrated. And I also need to eat more cooked food in order to get the nutrients and feel full. With raw food, you don't have to eat as much because the nutrients are so available that like eating a portion, your portions can be smaller. So that's what I love about it. Actually saves money to eat raw food. And another thing that I just wanted to pop in here is that no other animal in nature cooks their food. Cats, dogs, snakes, think of any animal, they just eat it live or raw. And that's like just the most nutrient efficient way to eat. So unfortunately, like there's so many cool restaurants and chefs and this and that, but ultimately cooking food can be damaging to the body or not optimal. So just something to consider. For me, my health is the best it's ever been. I'm still deeply healing from this chronic infection, but I feel so good. My mind is clear. My energy is strong. I feel amazing. Thank you for hearing this. I will post more videos about it because it is such a different topic that I want more videos online to be expressed about this because I believe in it so much. So the philosophy from raw foodists that I see is that you have to be vegan if you're going to be a raw foodist. But that's totally, I really want to break that mold or boundary, because if you're not having this thing about we're harming the animals, then you can eat raw like eggs and raw cream and stuff. Like veganism is like a mindset of like we don't want to harm animals, and I totally respect that because like there are a lot of animal operations that are really not good. That said, I'm doing food security projects in Africa through my nonprofit, and I just equip them with chickens because getting chickens are like the most amazing thing for the farm, for food. Like you're not really killing something if you're eating its egg. You're just not letting it hatch. If you're a vegetarian, you can do this diet and feel really good about it. So raw eggs, raw cheese and milk, you're not killing a cow by eating that. So if you are opposed to killing animals, there's ways around it. But yeah, this book has amazing recipes, all with like raw honey, tomatoes, apples, onions, like lots of herbs. So it's really not, mine is extremely limited because of my particular situation. But if you have an illness where you can eat anything, this is a great option because you just eat raw stuff and you add the animal products. If you want more tips about this, follow me on Instagram or TikTok, get day in the life updates and see it all visually. I share recipes, shopping tips, mindset shifts, and my ongoing healing there. This journey is more than about food. It's about sovereignty, truth, and vitality, real vitality. So if you're curious about raw or dealing with mysterious symptoms or prognoses that you just want to heal, know that answers exist. You're not broken. You're just waiting to align with what your body truly needs. So leave a comment if you want to try this diet, you want more support. I'm happy to help you. And thank you for walking with me today in this sacred space of healing. Your journey is important to me. I want you to have the healthiest, happiest life that you can. I want your spirit to be nourished and supported. So leave a comment or like and subscribe if you loved this video, and if you and share it with anyone you think could use this healing support. And also, for sure, feel free to reach out to me. I'm totally available to help. This is something so close to my heart, and I would be happy to guide you or coach you if you need that. All right, have a blessed day.